John's little sister had come down with a serious illness. When all the maple leaves on the tree fell, that would be the end of her life. Although John encouraged his sister to have faith in beating the illness, Jamiko was extremely negative, because according to a book she read, her life was as short and fragile as an autumn withered leaf. Just then, Nobita and the others came over to the maple tree. Seeing that there were almost no leaves left, they felt really upset. That meant they couldn't play leaf bungee jumping anymore. Sharp-eyed Doraemon suddenly spotted 2 leaves still clinging to the branch. Sunio suggested they have a competition to see who could make their leaf fall first. Doraemon then took out the Gulliver Tunnel. The 2 of them shrank themselves down and were lifted up by a mini elevator. Sunio was convinced the upper leaf would fall first, but Nobita held the opposite opinion. Afterward, the 2 flew onto the 2 leaves using suction belts. Since there was no wind, they decided to shake the leaves by hand. This scene happened to be seen by the bedridden Jamiko. The leaves were swaying even though there was not a breath of wind. It seems my life really is coming to an end. John told his sister not to be discouraged, then hurried off anxiously. Just as everyone was having a great time, John suddenly appeared before them, blazing with anger. He looked up and saw that Nobita and Sunio were the ones causing the commotion. He then burst into tears and shouted at them to stop immediately. Without hesitation, he climbed into the Gulliver Tunnel. In a frantic rush, he took the mini elevator up to the tree. "If these 2 leaves fall, you're done for," he yelled. Nobita and Sunio looked at each other in confusion, but as luck would have it, a strong gust of wind suddenly blew across the sky. Shizuka quickly held down her skirt. The leaves on the branch swayed violently in the wind. John warned the 2 of them again, "Do not let those maple leaves fall." Watching from her sickbed, Jamiko burst into tears. At this point, Sunio could no longer hold on. He apologized to John, then was blown away along with his leaf. In an instant, tears blurred Jamiko's vision. She pinned all her hopes for survival on the very last leaf outside her window. John told Nobita, "Whether my sister lives or dies depends entirely on you now." Nobita felt helpless after hearing that. Suddenly, he had an idea. He could use the suction belts rope to latch onto the branch. Jamiko covered her eyes, unable to watch. Doraemon and Shizuka cheered Nobita on, but the wind kept getting stronger and stronger. In the end, the leaf could not hold on any longer and fell off. John shouted, "Even if it costs me my life, you must not let it drop." Under the combined force of wind and gravity, the gadget's rope finally snapped. At this critical moment, John reacted quickly and grabbed the rope with his hand. Seeing that the situation was getting worse, Doraemon quickly pulled the rocket straw out of his pocket. Blowing hard into the straw would make them fly up into the air. John gritted his teeth and pulled Nobita with all his strength. Sweat dripped down his face, but the wind was simply too strong. Even tough guy John could not hold on any longer. In the next second, he too fell from the tree. As the very last leaf drifted down, Jamiko lost all her courage and will to live. All her hopes vanished along with that falling leaf. In this moment of crisis, Doraemon quickly blew into the straw. Soon, a powerful gust of air swept over them. The 2 were caught in this strong wind and shot up into the sky like a rocket. Jamiko stared in shock at the sight. Instead of falling down, the leaf was floating up into the sky. "Then what will become of my life?" Just then, John's mom walked into the ward and told Jamiko she could go home now. Jamiko was confused. "Didn't I have a terminal illness?" she asked. But John's mom said, "That's not true at all. You were just sick from eating too many sweet potatoes." This sudden news took her by surprise, yet